Station, boys and girls, it's time for Blamephable and his amazing friends.
We take our passions, our fandoms, and we turn them into conversations with you.
Station. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Blamephable and his amazing friends with Nick Comic Culture. But please, without further ado, help me welcome Brother Joe.
Trick or treat, assholes. Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong. A nocturnal vacation.
Hey.
Unnecessary sedation. You want to feel at home because you belong. Welcome to my nightmare. Ooh. Welcome to my breakdown. I hope I didn't scare you. It's just the way we are when we come down. We sweat and laugh and scream here. Cause life is just a dream here. You know inside you feel right at home. Welcome to my breakdown. Ooh, welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to my nightmare. Ooh.
Whoa.
And if you don't like that song, I'm going to take my little Boy Scout knife, come over to your house, and when I get done with the tricks, I'll take my treats.
Oh, that was creepy as hell.
Oh my God, you killed it like always, Brother Joe. I love it, man.
Trick or treat, baby.
Spirit.
Trick or treat.
Oh, yeah.
I got you, brother.
I love it, Brother
Nice.
Joe. Thank you, as always, for singing us in, man. That was an amazing performance. You look great, man.
Yeah, you look scary, dude.
It, huh?
This is the way I'm going to go. This is the way I'm going to dress up and give out the candy and see if I scare the shit out of these kids.
Yeah, you scared the shit out of two grown adults. So yeah, I think you're doing pretty good.
Oh man, welcome everybody to Blamephable and his amazing friends with Nick Comic Culture, man. Happy to be here. We have a great show today. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Nick Comic Culture. Nick, how are you, my brother?
Dude, I'm doing pretty well. I think I have like a hangover from reading so much, dude. I read so much this past week. It's been like brutal, but yeah, dude.
Nick and Knight already dropped, right?
No, it comes out tonight. Comes out tonight at 7:00. I covered like 20 books and I read 2 other trades in the meantime, and I had some other back issue stuff I'm dealing with. So I'm just like, whew, long week. But we have Halloween coming up, and I have a party later tonight at Cadets. It's gonna be awesome, dude.
Oh, you going to a party at the comic shop?
They're doing a whole Halloween in the Hill. So they're doing like this whole dress up thing. Me and my daughter dressing up. My wife might come out there. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a whole bunch of cool stuff.
That's
tonight,
cool, man. I am
dude.
so jealous, brother.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Just trying to get my energy up, dude.
Yeah. Of course, we always try to be joined by a Bad Batch member. I'm trying to have this rotating chair of Bad Batch in. So let me get one in here right now. My brother, Missing Link Comics in the house. Hey.
What up,
What
dude?
is going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Brother Joe, well done with the makeup. I told you backstage I'm impressed, and you knocked it out the park. Extremely well done.
I do it. If it wasn't for you gentlemen giving me the freedom to express myself, I would be a boxed up maniac.
You'd have bodies buried in your front yard, man. Yeah, I'm glad you have an outlet here, because God knows how you'd express it otherwise. Jesus.
Safe space.
Safe space. Thanks for having fun with us, dude. We appreciate it.
Hell yeah, brother Joe. Missing Link, how are you, my friend? I said, how are you? My brother Joe. That's what I wanted to say. How are you, my brother?
Oh man, they're gearing up for Tuesday night Halloween. You know, I got this channel now that's a monster channel, and so I'm in seventh heaven because they show nothing but black and whites.
I know you love the old monster movies. Hell
And
yeah!
then I've got 2 DVDs. I've got Mad Monster Party, and I've got the Charlie Brown Halloween. So I'm set.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, brother Joe, man, thank you as always for singing us in. I'm gonna see you probably tonight, tomorrow. I don't know. We're always talking in the back chat. Love you. Thanks for joining us always, my brother.
Now remember what I said.
Shit, did it again.
Let me get out of here. Happy Halloween. Boom, 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 boom.
You're gonna have to change the age restriction on this video to like 17 plus. Or whatever,
I know he's pulling out switchblades, he's threatening the damn chat.
It was fake, guys. It's fake. I think.
Oh man, well yeah, man. Thank you everybody for joining us. Of course, we always have a special guest on the show, and we're joined by none other than Chris Lost in Comics today. One of my favorite people in this community, man. I met Chris, and it's like I hit it off with him like right away. You know how you just hit it off with certain people?
Oh, he's so damn likable, man. How
yeah.
He's a great person.
Kind of mad that I'm saying all this nice stuff about him while he's backstage. But let me bring him out.
Bring me in, man. Bring me in.
What up, dude?
What's going on, station gentlemen?
What is going on, Chris? How are you, brother? Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you guys. Man, Brother Joe doesn't live in the San Antonio, Texas area, does he?
No.
I'm just making sure. Just take the kids out.
He's on 24-hour surveillance. He's safely locked away. Don't worry.
I mean, I don't know. Brother Joe could pop up anywhere. He's one of those guys. I mean, every time he calls me somewhere, I'm like, where are you now, Brother Joe? He's like, I'm at the airport. I'm waiting for the wrestlers to come off the plane.
That's right.
There's no other channel that you can get a Brother Joe. So, man, that was incredible. I am a little scared though.
So, brother, how are you, man? You got any cool plans like my brother Nick there? You going to the parties at the comic shops over there?
Man, I think later on today, they're having something similar to what Nick's shop is having, and I think I'm going to take the kids, and my son got a Ash Ketchum outfit for Pokemon, you know? So he's going to wear that. My daughter's all about the princess right now, so she's almost 4. So she's just excited to be a princess. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a good time to dress up.
Yeah. Well, what are you wearing?
Yeah. What are you
going to dress up as?
Good question, man. It's a good question. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I got to dig around here.
I think you could pull
my brother Joe.
Put on the backwards hat.
Yeah.
We could all go as Robbie. How about we do that?
like
we can do that.
2020 Robbie. We can go as 2020 Robbie.
What happened with the hat, man? With Robbie, and I saw him pull it out. Was it last week or the week before? And I was like, that's like the old on one of his videos. He had the cap on.
Yeah.
I gotta ask him about that.
You know how it is. You know how it is. Somebody came to him and was like, "Man, I love your hair."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah."
That makes sense.
He does have nice
Yeah.
hair.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Very
thanks
nice,
for joining me, brother. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks to everybody for joining me this Saturday afternoon. We got plenty to discuss, great topics. But before I get into that, let me just get into the chat. Say what up to everybody that joined us this afternoon. First up, we got my brother Tacky 616 in the house.
What up?
Hey, shit, what is going on, Tack? We got my brother Verno, Blood, Splatter,
What up, Verno?
Chatter in the house station. What is going on, my brother? Let's see. We got my brother Eric, the Stash, Durant in the house station. How are you, man? Wait, what am I watching? Exactly. That's the exact effect we want. Every time somebody comes into this and they see Brother Joe singing, I want you to be like,
hell?
yeah.
Wait, I want to know your watch numbers in the first 3 minutes of your videos and see what the heck. They're either gonna spike or they're gonna plummet. Either way.
Exactly. I love it.
What the hell is that?
Tacky 616 said, Brother Joe working that kazoo. You know, he's getting better, man. He's getting better with that thing.
He's practicing.
We got my sister Ninja in the house. Hey, shit, what is going on, Ninja? How are you, man? So many good people in the crib, man. Let's see who else we got here, man. We got Geek Out with Roscoe in the house. Say hey, everybody.
What up?
Hey, shit, Roscoe. What is going on?
Hey, good job on the C3, Roscoe and John.
Oh yeah,
sure.
all of them, man. We're gonna mention it. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, they had so many good donations and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got John's Comics with Kids in the house. He's saying, "What's happening, friends?" Station John, how are you, man?
Nice.
Let's see. Who else we got? We got some people here, man. We got Marvin Wynn in the house. He's like, what up? What is going on, brother? Thank you for joining us. Station. We got my brother Nostalgic Addicts in the house. Station Nostalgic. How are you? We got the immortal Biggie Shaq in the house.
What's up?
Station Biggie, how are you, man? Say, hey, dudes. Hell yeah, man. What is going on, man? So many good people here today. All right, man. So before we get into the news, I just want to get into a little bit of housekeeping. Let me open up my notes here. Just mention a couple of things before we get into the show proper. First, I always like to mention and thank everybody for participating in Figgy Friday and Throw Your Sets Up Saturday on Instagram. 2 little hashtags that we got going on, basically designed so that people could share their collections, whether it's toys, comics, or whatever. And it's a way to meet other people with the same interests. You know what I mean? So thank you, everybody who participates in that Saturday after Saturday. It's always awesome to see these collections, man. I got to tell you, every time somebody tags me in one of these things, I'm like, holy crap. It's like a blaming. I did it to myself. I made like a self-blaming. Like, I tag all these people.
Well, you needed more things to collect, so right? I'm glad that you
That's exactly
put this together. Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, thank you everybody who participates in Throw Your Sets Up Saturday and Figgy Friday. Of course, I want to mention the CBC Awards, the Comic Book Community Awards. My brother Robbie, Pop Culture Philosophers, is up for 6 awards this year. 5,000 sub favorite channel, 5,000 plus subs, best collaborative project or event, best comic book review show, best ongoing series, and that's the monthly comic book review, if I'm not mistaken, right? The ongoing series. I
believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so a vote for that one is a vote for all of us, especially because my brother Nick is on that show, Manny's on that show, and a bunch of us come in and out of that show. So definitely vote for Robbie on Best Ongoing Series. And, of course, Comic Book Community Channel of the Year. Yet again. I think he got nominated all 3 years, right, that this thing has been out. I think you're on mute,
Pretty
Nick.
sure.
Yeah, I think he has been actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But the most important award, the one that my brother Lost in Comics alluded to, best hands, mustache, or facial hair. So now you know why he lost the hat, Chris.
Yeah.
So
I
definitely,
suppose, man. Yeah.
give my boy Robbie a vote for any one of these things, man. 6 awards, that's nothing to laugh at, man. He's got a lot of love out there. A lot of people watch his content. We, us included, we love Robbie. So yeah, go vote for Robbie. Pop Culture Philosophers in the CBC Awards. Of course, I want to mention Horror Fest, PCP Horror Fest 2023. It's a little festival that we do on YouTube where we review horror movies. We've got 3 channels involved this time around. Dylan's Horror Show, Blood Splatter Chatter, and of course, Pop Culture Philosophers. And we're at the end of this thing, man. We started in August. What was that? August 26th is when we started with Maniac, man. And now we're at the end here. So tonight on Dylan's Horror Show, we've got Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, man. That's a very divisive movie. When it came out, everybody hated it. And now over the years, everybody's like, it's the best Halloween. I've actually heard that. So, man, go check that out. Dylan's Horror Show tonight. I don't know exactly what time. I don't have a time on that because last week I said they were starting at 8 and they started at 10. So I don't know their time schedule. Yeah, but go check out Dylan's Horror Show. They're doing Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Of course, on Sunday, special showtime, Pop Culture Philosophers. He's going to be doing the original Dracula from 1931, the original black and white Dracula. You know that Robbie's a big fan of the Universal Monsters, so this is going to be a good one. Definitely. I don't know who's going to be on the panel, but it might be a first-time watch for a lot of us, because I don't know about you guys. Have you guys seen Dracula 1931?
Yeah. It's been a long time, but yeah.
I have not seen the original. Yeah.
We need to push Robbie to do those live viewing sessions again.
Reaction.
I keep talking about that every time. Yeah. Well, not only that, but we would all queue it up at the same time. And what we saw live was we were all watching it on our own screens. That was so much fun. But yeah, Dracula's a good one. 31.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So after Dracula on Sunday, come right back on Monday to Pop Culture Philosophers, because this is the grand finale of Horror Fest. And he's doing the Saw franchise, man. All 10 Saw movies, which is absolutely insane. I feel bad for those guys, and I feel happy for those guys at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a great franchise to visit and a great way to cap off Horror Fest. So come on Monday night on Pop Culture Philosophers. Check it out, man. We're reviewing the Saw franchise. But we also have a bonus show on Halloween Day, man. My man Blood Splatter Chatter wants to do Halloween, but the Rob Zombie Halloween on Halloween. So that's pretty scary, right? Like the thought of watching Rob Zombie's Halloween is kind of puts fear in my heart. I don't know about you guys.
I never saw that one. I need to go back and look at it. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to see it, but
that's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Very divisive Halloween movie, but that's going to be done on Halloween Day over on Blood Splatter Chatter, man. That's the bonus show that we're doing. So the grand finale is the Saw franchise on Pop Culture Philosophers on Monday, but on Halloween Day, Halloween by Rob Zombie, man. Check it out. Hell yeah. Just some more housekeeping here. I wanted to congratulate all the YouTubers, all the people, all the auctioneers and the donators of the C3 Comics Curing Cancer event that took place last weekend, all weekend. I believe it started maybe Friday into Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
It actually goes all year round, but they do a big final push over the weekend. And so, it started back in January, but it's going to continue through the end of the year. But they really kicked it off over the last weekend. Correct.
Yeah. All those guys, DJ Links, Rob Fat Stack, Circumstances, Gary B, just a bunch of people. Trev, the shipping guru, bunch of guys.
Legion, Mark. Yeah, Mark,
Legion of Comics. They all
got
together and they did this stream. And man, $50,000, man. That is insane, man. You cannot hate on that. That's crazy. Like 25,000 was the goal.
Yeah.
And they had that by Friday night or
by
Saturday
Friday night at
morning.
like dinner time. Yeah. They nailed it.
Amazing.
This year was some high stakes, man, because there were certain total thresholds to hit, and some people were like promising tattoos at certain thresholds, like the C3 logos and things like that. I forget who it all was. It was hilarious to watch that number get closer and closer.
Was it Whack that shaved his eyebrows?
That's
somebody. I saw somebody shave their eyebrows. I was like, what the?
Yeah. Somebody was going to get a tattoo. I forgot who it was. And then someone was going to get a tattoo of that person getting the tattoo at 50,000, I think. So
nice.
Yeah.
$50,000, man. That is crazy, man. I love it. You know, the cancer stuff is always close to my heart. You know what I mean? And speaking of cancer stuff, I want to also direct everybody to Jennifer Comic Books Will Break Your Hearts GoFundMe. She was a guest on the show, I believe our second episode. She recently got diagnosed with cancer, and she set up a GoFundMe because of the cancer and because of the treatments. She's not working. She's not getting the money she used to. She can't keep up with the bills like she used to, and she definitely can't get the books that she used to. And we all know how important it is to have books in a hard time like this. They could be very, very special at this time. So everybody, if you got anything to spare, go ahead out, check out Jennifer. Comic Books Will Break Your Hearts. GoFundMe. It is, let me just say the right way. It's going to be in the description, but it's GoFundMe.com/F/keep-Jen-reading. Yeah, if you got anything, go check that out. And the last thing I wanted to mention is our last guest is actually doing a fundraiser himself. My brother Bronze Age Nerd, who was just on last episode, he's doing something called the Heroes for Heroes YouTube charity auction. And that's going to be on November 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And all the proceeds are going to Mission 22, a charity for veterans. This is also a great cause. If you guys have any time or you know what I mean, want to help out some veterans, go check out my brother Bronze Age Nerd on the 11th on his channel for more details. Of course, our veterans, we know the history of how they've been taken care of after they come back from duty or off duty or whatever. And we want to make sure they get all the help they need. You know what I mean? There's a lot of medical expenses that come with after you've been in the war. You know what I'm saying? And all the things that come with that. So, and
I'll add to it, he's accepting donations as well from the community for things to auction off. And so just hit him up on Instagram, and he'll tell you what to do if you want to get involved with that. So if you have any donations you want to make, just hit him up on IG, and he'll tell you what to do.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. So, man, thanks, everybody. That's all the housekeeping. Let's get into the news. All right, man. So, number one on the list today. First, before I get into this, I want to ask you guys. Now, I know my man Missing Link, he's a gamer. I know Nick is a gamer. I mean, with all those machines behind him, he's got to be one, right? Like, he's not just doing that for show, right? It's not just decoration, right, Nick?
Yeah. I've done my time in gaming, man. Yeah, for sure.
Lost. Are you a gamer at all, brother?
Man, you know what? I am, and I just recently. So I mean, I'm sure some of you guys understand this, right? When I got married 11 years ago, crazy, 11 years ago. I was a big gamer, man. Like it became a problem for a little while when we first got married. And
usually does.
My son was born a little over 7 years ago, and around that mark, man, I really kind of stopped playing. I mean, not because my wife asked me to or anything. And life happens, and you kind of just start. You just don't have time for it. But with that said, so I had the Xbox One when the day that it came out. That was my system. But a couple of months ago, knowing that the Spider-Man game was coming out, I talked to my wife. I'm like, man, Spider-Man game. Like, man, I don't want to miss another one. So I got the PS5, man, and I got the PS5 a couple months ago. Started to get myself acclimated to the controller. It's different, and dude, I love it so much. And I got the Spider-Man game, and I know it's where we're headed here.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad you came to the dark side. I'm still waiting for my brother
I'm
to
back.
come to the dark side with me.
I gotta watch myself though, dude. Like I seriously like, and I think you guys can probably relate to this. I'll be real honest with you. Like, man, when I was like heavy into it, man, when I would lose, I would go into like some rages, dude. Like, I remember at one point, it really is the dark side for me, dude. Because like, I remember one point when we were living in an apartment, I freaking smashed a hole in a door, like the Hulk, dude. I was like,
wow.
I was mad, throwing controllers. You know, like I'm like, what the? And then after I do it, I'm so pissed that I'm like, I gotta pay another, $50 for another controller, and now they're like $70 for a controller. So I'm definitely not doing that. But I like to think that I've grown, in the last few years. So we'll see.
Yeah, after a couple of $50 controllers, you definitely grow up real quick.
Holy crap, man! Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that system, and I'm glad you mentioned that game because Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is finally released, and not only has it released, guys, but it sold 2.5 million copies in 24 hours, man. That is a major success. You know what I mean? This sales milestone means that Spider-Man has overtaken Santa Monica Studios' God of War Ragnarok as the fastest one-day selling game in Sony first-party history. So that's big because it's worth noting that Spider-Man 2 is an exclusive, right? You can't get this on PC, you can't get this on the Switch or the Xbox. So for it to sell 2.5 million copies in 24 hours on one platform, I mean, that speaks volumes to me. It's unknown if it's going to surpass God of War Ragnarok, whose debut week was 5.1 million copies. So that's a lot. God of War made.
I think it will.
Yeah. I think so.
But yeah, just questions for the panel. I think I got my answer from Lost in Comics, but anybody in the chat, in the panel playing Spider-Man 2? Did you grab Spider-Man 2? Are you playing it? And I have another question when it comes to this game. What do you think the potential is for superheroes, maybe particularly the MCU, but superheroes in video games? I think that superheroes have been in video games since forever, right? We've had Batman games and this game, but they're always this sort of like beat up somebody, get to the next level, here's the boss, that kind of gameplay, right? But with these Spider-Man games, I mean, I'm hearing the story in this game is better than anything going on in ASM right now, and better than what is going on in Sony and MCU's movies. I'm hearing that this story is absolutely phenomenal and worth playing just for that. Forget just the gaming parts of it, which are phenomenal in itself. So that got me thinking, and this is why I'm asking, what do you think is the potential for the MCU in video games? Because if the cinema's failing, which it clearly is, we see the returns, but then you sell 2.5 million copies, 24 hours on one platform. The thirst, the hunger is out there, right? And video games, we've never explored that. And we all know that you sell 2.5 million copies of video games, guess what? You probably made more money than the Spider-Man movie. So there's a potential to say, hey, why don't we continue these stories in this platform that's never really been explored before the way we're exploring it now? So I'm going to ask, I'll start with Nick. Nick, you're playing Spider-Man, and what do you think about superheroes in video games going forward, man?
No, I'm not really playing games that much anymore. Like Chris, I was playing a lot back in the day, and I was mostly playing like first-person shooter kind of stuff, or RPGs, Diablo, things like that. But ever since probably, I don't know, 2019, 2020, whenever the channel became more of a full-time kind of, not a full-time thing, but like it consumed more time. And then like as my family was getting older, my daughter was getting older, we were doing more things. So like certain hobbies had to fall off. And so I do occasionally get to jump on the sticks back here, but no, I'm not playing games right now. I'm not surprised that this is selling so well because of the success of the previous game that came out. There's obviously a lot of Spider-Man fans, and I think as technology and the coding and the programming and the graphics and everything are starting to match the superpowers of these superheroes, I think it's going to be a little bit easier to produce games like this and make it feel like you're watching a movie, seeing it actually portrayed the way that these characters actually move. We've had web swinging like this before in games all the way back to like PS2 or whatever it was. I can't remember. But like I'm watching clips right now of people playing this game, and they're like slingshotting themselves through the alleyways and they're gliding all over the place. And I'm like, this is insane. Like I would spend more time. It's like GTA. It's like, yeah, the story's great, but like, I'm just going to drive around and shoot stuff. Right. I feel like I would just swing around all day long and just do that kind of stuff. So,
and trust me, people have.
Of course they have. Yeah, that's the second part. That's the second game here. That it's not just
I'm playing this game, and I did one mission, and 4 hours passed by. I don't know how that happened.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think that we're at a time where the technology is kind of catching up to the creativity, and they can execute on these things better than they ever have. And it's a hell of a franchise, and it's really interesting to see how popular this is when like the movies and comics are popular, but maybe they're not as popular. People aren't jumping on those as fast as they're jumping on this game.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting too. So maybe it's the whole medium thing. Although the barrier to entry is way higher in something like this. You got to buy, Chris, as you know, you got to buy a PS5 and you got to buy this copy. So you're back hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So it's interesting, but not surprising. How about that?
Yeah. No, good points. Definitely, there's definitely potential in this medium for storytelling, and I think it grows every year. It grows bigger and bigger. These productions are amazing. I mean, they pay symphonies to do the soundtracks. They pay big actors to do the voices, and they have these sequencers, and these companies employ hundreds of people. But Blink, man, Spider-Man 2. Are you just gonna get off the live now and go buy a PS5? Is that what you're gonna do right now?
I just might. I mean, I told you guys before, I bought a PS4 is because of Spider-Man back in like the end of 2018. And I've said this with Spider-Man 2. The only thing that makes me get a PS5, it will be this game, and it'll be worth it, even though it sets you back hundreds of dollars. But this is the type of game that once you beat it, you don't mind running through the story again or picking up and just swinging through the city while you're like. I don't know if you guys have ever done it before, but almost every Spider-Man game I've played, when I'm swinging through the cities, I'm like humming the 90s theme song at some point, just pretending I'm him.
Oh, yeah.
But I really do think there's a lot of untapped potential when it comes to like comic books and video games in general. Video games, they rise every year because, there's a lot of great storytelling in the aspects as with movie shows, books, novels, comic books, you're a passenger pretty much, right? You're watching the story unfold. But with video games, in order to make the story progress, you have to be an active participant in it. So there's like this layer to it, that you don't get in any other medium of storytelling that I think that people are wisening up to. There's been there's been some great comic book games over the last few years. Some not so much, but Guardians of the Galaxy a few years ago was, I think, really underrated. Super fantastic.
Excellent. Yes.
And I think what it takes with like comic books and video games, you need like a really solid studio to have people back it and a solid IP. So that's why you get like stuff like, is it Naughty Dog on Spider-Man?
No, Insomniac Games.
Insomniac, but they're doing Wolverine, and I love Insomniac's Spider-Man, but I'm looking forward to the Wolverine like none other. Like if they can bring just a hint of what they did with Spider-Man to Wolverine, best video game ever.
Dude, I think, I don't know if it'll be Spider-Man's day one record, but I have a feeling a Sony first party Wolverine game is gonna do some damage like that first day.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you're absolutely right. Everything you're saying about the story, the medium, exploring stories and them being unique to each person. That's what makes this so awesome, because nobody's gonna have the story like you, especially when the bad guys do different things depending on what you do. So like, you know, you go around the corner, one guy comes around the corner trying to get you this way, the other guy's coming from top. Oh, you do some crazy off the wall, hit both of them at the same time. Nobody's gonna have that experience but you. You know what I mean? So hell yeah, Chris, man, Spider-Man 2, man. What do you think is the potential of these games?
I don't want to be hyperbolic here, man, but you heard my story. I really have been out of gaming for years, and so this is my dive back into gaming. Aside from playing some other sports games, but getting this game, dude, and playing Spider-Man 2, I'm just gonna tell you, for me, for my personal experience, it's the best video game I have ever played in my life.
What?
Like, I'm telling you, dude.
Wow.
For me,
I've heard that before.
Fair enough.
I mean, as far as like somebody that loves storytelling, right, and loves, I mean, and these graphics, dude, are just. I told you I had the Xbox One, and I hadn't upgraded since that first release of the Xbox One. What I'm seeing on this freaking screen, and I'm going around the city, I'm like, it's beautiful. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. Story wise, I'm glad that you touched on this, Phable, because I know my wife doesn't care, but I was telling her the other day when she was sitting here, she's watching videos and I'm playing the game, and I'm like, this game is better than any of the comics that I've read of Spider-Man in years. Especially right now, with what's going on in the Spidey Comics station. And I'm like, and then it's just some simple stuff. I'm like, is it that hard? Like, look at the game. People are eating it up. You know, put Peter with MJ. You know, just that they're supposed to be together. You know, like in the game, and it works beautifully. The way they brought Miles into the world, like the whole thing. I'm just eating it up, dude. The story, like, I mean, it's so immersive. You're going through. You can go off on your own little side quests, open world. My son loves it. He's 7 years old. I told you, and that's what's making this a lot more enjoyable for me, because I don't have to just wait for them to go to bed. I spend a little bit of time before he goes to bed. We both play, and he's on the controller, and he's gotten the hang of everything. So we take turns. He dies, I'll take over, and then we go back and forth. But man, this game it's incredible, and what for me, the storytelling. If somebody's talking while like a part of the game is going on, I'm like, shh, let me hear, because I want to hear. I'm like very entranced in this story. Like it's great, man. And I'm really trying to slow. I mean, I can't play that much, so I'm really trying to just take it all in and take it slow. Man, it's so good. I really mean it. Like, and I've played a lot of games in my life, and this one, for me at this moment, and I might be just captivated in the moment right now, but it's the best game I've ever played.
Do you think this is where it's at for this kind of storytelling? Do you think this is where they maybe should explore, maybe invest some more money in this medium?
That is the other side of it, is that when I made that comment about the comics, I also feel the same way about the movies like this and the shows. Like, this is, for me, again, better than anything that's been released recently from Marvel on TV shows, movies. And I do think it is I mean, you see how many copies have already been sold. All these people that are playing this game, how many of them, first off, all those people that are buying this game, how many of them are actually reading the Spider-Man comic? That's not happening. Secondly, as far as like cinema, movies, TV, there's definitely a lull right now. Like, people are, you can see in the numbers, man, like, it's just people are not showing up for the superhero stuff right now. And I think the diehards like us are obviously going to watch that stuff. But when you see the numbers on a video game and you're like, dude, I mean, can you even, it's hard to believe how many people are there. They like Spider-Man. They're buying the game. They like video games. Where's the disconnect? Why are all these people
That's why
playing this
I
game?
asked the question. That I'm
Exactly.
asking, because of what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
There is obviously a want for this. but they don't want what the movies are giving them. They don't want what the comics are giving, but the video game. Yeah. Oh, all of a sudden, there's where everybody was. Oh, there's where you guys were.
Exactly, dude. I mean?
Yeah. Well, you can play you can play the hero in that story, though. I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe people are just so used to playing video games at this point, they don't want to pick up a comic because they might think it's stupid, or they just don't want to get into that world. They'll go to a movies because all their friends are going to movies and they're giant blockbusters. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to go to the movies, but they always have video games at home, and it's their chance to be Spider-Man. Who the hell doesn't want to be Spider-Man?
Yeah.
You know, especially with the legacy of the successful legacy of this franchise so far. And all the other Spider-Man games. I mean, we all grew up on great Spider-Man games, right, Link?
Yeah. I think it kind of ties in that personal aspect, like it kind of what Nick was saying, like it's at home. Like when you play a story mode game, like that's a unique experience to yourself. Like the story might play out the same, but how it affects you, or how it resonates with you, is unique into itself. As opposed to, I mean, that can be said for like movies and books too, but I just feel like Nick said, like you're playing the hero, so there's a different layer to that. It's like very subtle, but it's a big one personal. To me. It's a big subtle.
Yeah, it's like you are the person. Like you say, you're Spider-Man. Like while you have that controller in your hand, and that's how it feels.
Yep.
Yeah. And you could break the rules too. Like you could go around, punch some people.
Hey, GTA is one of the top selling games of all time for a reason.
Web up somebody for a reason. Just play around in that world. Yeah, I like that point that you made, Chris, too, about your son. I think that's very important because it's a way for older generation, younger generation to meet somewhere in the middle with something we both love. Which is something that I'm sure they're happy about. They're like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But also one point I wanted to make before we move on to our next thing is what the hell, Sony? How are you gonna make this great video game and your movies not so good? Like I think maybe you should hire these guys to make your next movie or something. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I mean,
something. I would say,
dude, they introduced Miles, Venom, Peter in one video game, and it's awesome. Yeah, exactly.
It's the medium, though. I think it's the medium, though. It's just easier to because you do it in a movie, and there's budgets and time frames and things like that you got to meet. Of course, there is that in video games too, but I don't know. I feel like it's just easier to do it in a video game, and you can make it more personal, and it feels more real. And I don't know. It's a whole different experience. I think.
Yeah, you're right. It
doesn't work as easily in the other two.
You're right, because we could forgive a lot of things from games that we can't probably maybe forgive in movies. Like
maybe
like a game will have a wonky camera angle sometimes, and you'll be like, God damn it, the camera! But that doesn't make you want to stop playing
through a shoulder or something.
Right, but if you see like some weird filming in movies, you're like, this movie's weird filmed. I don't think I like this movie.
And plus movies only have like a 2-hour runtime. I mean, give or take. And then a comic is per issue. In a game, you can put 100 hours into something. I don't know if you could put 100. Do we know what's the playtime on this? If you just play the story, do we know?
I think I saw somebody do it in 18 hours, like straight through.
Oh, no side quests.
So
just like running through the whole thing. That's the minimum. But I mean,
speed running.
I'm like, you could spend it forever in this game. I'm like,
you can put 60 hours in this probably pretty easily. If you're taking your time.
Phil said, alas, no Spidey for PC gamers.
I know, Master
I
Race
think it's coming, Phil, because I think the original Spider-Man is on PC. Yeah, Spider-Man 1 is on PC.
And Miles is on PC right now, so.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Let me see. What up? Sal says, station everyone. Happy Saturdays.
What up, Sal?
Sal, how are you, my brother, man? Hey, Southern Comic Geek in the house. What's up, folks? Asian, what is going on, SCG? How are you, my brother? Thanks for coming through. I'm definitely gonna hit you up, SCG. I want to see if you'd like to be our guest in the future, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Oh, my brother, Mr. Anthropic, Warren Smith in the house.
What's up,
Asian? What is going on? And my brother Sir Cam is reminding everybody to lovingly caress that like button. Just a little bit like this. Oh, wait. SCG
No,
said,
because
"Hey."
it's like an hour away. It's in Lebanon, Tennessee, which is like an hour from Nashville, but they still call it the Nashville Multicon. But if you look at it, it's in Lebanon, which isn't, I mean, it's not that far, but I didn't have any plans. Chris Pachallo is going to be there.
I was just gonna say, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I was gonna say this hour away. I'm like, really, Nick? An hour? That's the stipulation for waiting to go.
No, but like
No.
it's
if Jenny Frizzle was there, you'd be there. Like
I wouldn't be here
hour
if she
early.
was. Yeah, are you kidding me? I got Steph here. He's done.
Well, I'll accept that.
Yeah, right. We got our eye candy. We don't need to go there right now.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, everyone in the dog wants the voice act. Tell me about it, man. I want a voice act. Give me a voice acting job.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
That
hell
seems
yeah,
so fun. Like, honestly, bro.
I know.
And I wanted to say what up to my brother Two Gun. I don't think I said what up to Two Gun, but Pew Pew Station
Pew.
Two Gun. And I think she was here a little earlier, or the ladies were here a little earlier.
Yep.
But Melanin and Manga was in the house. Station Melanin and Manga. All right, man. Let's stay on the Spider-Man train because we got some new comic book news about Spider-Man. Recently, they did a press release.
There we go.
Showing off some new covers for the Ultimate Spider-Man #1 recently announced by Marvel from Jonathan Hickman and Marco Cicchetto, which I think a lot of us are really excited about, right? Because it's Marco Cicchetto and Jonathan Hickman. And well, anyway, while they did this press release, they showed these new covers, and these new covers depict Spider-Man married with 2 kids. Now, I don't know if they mentioned this prior. I know they said it was going to be different or an older Spider-Man, something like that. But I don't know if they talked specifically about the children and him being married. And they also let out another detail that he becomes Spider-Man when he's older, not when he's a teenager. He's already married with the kids when he becomes Spider-Man. So let me just read some of this. I wanted to read a quote from Jonathan Hickman. And he said, when we decided that we were going to do a book about an older Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man, we really wanted to lean into him starting his superhero life from a very different place. And that's what's traditional, very different place from what's traditionally expected. Peter and MJ being married is one of the many decisions we made that underlined this being quite a different kind of Spider-Man story. So yeah, man, the covers here that Nick is showing off, they're being done by Elizabeth Tork and Ryan Stegman, and they're going to be for the first 4 issues of this series. So yeah, man, interesting. Peter B. Parker, it sounds like. That's what it sounds like they're doing, Peter B. Parker. But you know, Peter B. Parker's after the divorce. This is like before the divorce.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is pretty interesting. I was very interested, of course. Jonathan Hickman, probably one of my favorite writers in comics today. Marco Cicchetto, I mean, come on. The man is amazing.
Yeah, he's too good.
Daredevil. Yeah. His Elektra should be Elektra all the time. Like that's how Elektra should look.
Yeah, we solved it. Just do that from now on. You don't need to reimagine it. Yeah. Hair and all. I want that hair.
Yeah, I just wanted to go around the horn, get everybody's thoughts on this kind of Peter Parker story or this kind of Spider-Man story. It's kind of different. Or maybe not. I've only been collecting for 3 years. Maybe this is something they've done before. I'm pretty sure maybe they've done it before. But have they done it like this? So I'll start with my man, Chris. Chris, what do you think?
I think they're onto something here. And I think normally I wouldn't be as excited about this story and what's happening in this Ultimate Universe if it wasn't for us being starved for good Spider-Man stories in the regular. And I hate to hate on that series. I just, it's frustrating for me because it's one of those characters that I always just want to read all the time. Like I want to stay on ASM all the time. I want to collect it. And when it's not doing it for me, it's very annoying. Like I'm just like, especially when you go like 20 issues and you're like, shoot, man, like, or you'll have like 1 good issue and then it's like, okay, 6 bad ones, 6 mediocre issues. And then you're like, okay, oh, this one's pretty good. And then, oh, okay, here's another 10 that are, mediocre. Give the people what they want, man. That it's just so, to me, it's just so, it's so simple, right? Create a story around, you already know the dynamics, the foundation. This right here, Peter and MJ. I'm telling you, and it's just like the video game. They get it. They understand this is what the people want. That's the core. So just that alone is going to bring people in. Because you know what? I'm starving from the ASM title. I'm not getting Peter and MJ that I want. So look at this. Oh, Meet the Parkers. I got Peter and MJ right there on the cover. You got kids. That already. I don't care what else the story's about. I'm in. I don't care that it's the Ultimate Universe. That right there, I'm in because I'm starved for that type of story and Peter and MJ. Like that's what I want. And I know a lot of people are feel that way, right? And I mean, not all, right, but I think there's a lot of people that share that same sentiment, right? So
there's definitely a consensus out there that hate the fact that they keep taking Mary J away from Peter, or keep taking away his happiness in general from Peter. There's definitely a group of people.
He's always depressed, man. Like I'm like, why?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's not him. But yeah. And Jonathan Hickman and Marco Cicchetto, dude, like they put the team. I'm telling you, give the people what they want. Putting a great team on a great book, great character. And I don't know if you guys read the Ultimate Invasion stuff that Hickman did. I was
gonna ask you if you read it.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's good.
All right.
And that opened up. It's opening up the world for this. So I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, Missing Link, man. What do you think? You picking this up? What do you think about this revelation that Spider-Man is becoming Spider-Man when he's already older, man? It's kind of different.
That's the most unique story standpoint I think they're taking with this is Peter becoming Spider-Man as a grown man, as a family man.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this for multiple reasons. Jonathan Hickman, Marco Cicchetto, as we've said. I'm back in the day, the Ultimate Universe was kind of like experimental grounds for things that would try to roll into the 616 proper. And so, there's a big fan base that want to see Miles become like the mainland Spider-Man, and there's a big fan base that wants to see Peter become a family man. So I'm curious with this series to see if this is them experimenting to see how the audience reacts. Because, even though the fans numerous times, editorial, the higher ups, for whatever reason, think people want to read single Peter Parker for the rest of his life or for the rest of their life. So I'm curious to see if this is them experimenting with that whole family aspect. And if the readers respond well to this, Peter may take a back seat to elevate Miles more. Yeah. I know we were just chopping up an idea the other day. Marvel, you can't steal this. Peter's like Wayne and Miles is like Terry McGinnis, so it's like a Batman Beyond type of thing where you get your Peter, but the focus is Miles.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Don't steal it.
Don't steal it though. Don't steal it.
But this, I'm definitely gonna read it. I know it's interesting to see he's got a son, because I know in a lot of iterations it's always like Peter and MJ have a daughter. There was like I think it was called like M2 or MU2. It was like in the late 90s, and it had like Spider-Girl. She was Mary Jane and Peter's daughter. Her name was like Maddie or something like that.
Yeah, she came back in that dark. There was a recent thing where she came back. Yeah.
Yep. Oh snap!
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Dark Ages, maybe was it Dark Ages? I can't remember. Sorry.
Or Dark Web? Was it Dark Web?
Dark Web,
maybe.
Huh.
I haven't read either.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Series a few years ago, Dan Slott did Renew Your Vows. He did it as a mini series. Then Ryan Stegman and Jerry Conway ended up making it a regular series that ran for like, I want to say 30, 40 issues. That was pretty solid. Jody Hauser came on board eventually. And that was pretty much like MJ, Peter, and Doctor as like a family spider team, which was really cool. So it's cool to see. And the J.J. Abrams did that miniseries a few years ago.
Right.
Where I guess like Peter had lost an arm. But it was like this. So I see amalgamate that into one series. But yeah, there's just a lot of interesting things. They got the right creative team. As Chris said, they're giving the fans what they want. They shouldn't have to be experimental title and an ultimate line for them to understand that, but at least it's a step in the right direction. But I'm definitely curious to see if this is like an experiment to see if they can make Peter finally retire and settle down in the main 616.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
I'm glad you said that, man. That's a great
Well,
point. That is a great point. I never thought of it as an experiment from Marvel to see the response to this, to maybe sneak it in the 616 that, this is the direction Peter's probably going to end up in and elevate my. Yeah, that's
and on
awesome.
top of that, and on top of that, if it is an experiment, we've been always talking about put good creative teams on these projects. Look at the people we got on the project. Jesus, I mean, you could put them on ASM now and it would probably be good. But if you're trying to figure out if this is going to work, how do you go wrong with that team and the concept behind this?
Right.
It's something that everyone's always wanted with a team that nobody hates. So it's like, come on, guys, this is going to be a no-brainer. It should be good. On paper, it's going to be great.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean, even go ahead. I was gonna say, even from a cover standpoint, which you've been showing off for the past 10 minutes, is Elizabeth Tork and Ryan Stegman, two great artists. I mean, so they've got all the pieces. But Nick, go ahead.
What's interesting to me though is like I think the assumption here, and this might be obvious, but I'm just gonna kind of say it anyways and hope I'm right. But if you didn't read Ultimate Invasion, you kind of need to read that to see what the maker did to that universe. And I'm assuming that this stuff is spinning out of the things that he did.
This is the direct continuation of the new whatever it is the maker did. Yeah.
So the maker messed around with a lot of stuff in Ultimate Invasion in the first couple of issues. So if you didn't read that, definitely read it for that context, because then it makes sense that when we're talking about the fact that, Peter doesn't get his powers until later, we don't know how he gets his. I mean, like that origin story has been changed, and I won't go into details, but he did that with a lot of other people too in the universe. And so, if we're going to get more books featuring more people, it's kind of they're probably going to cover it in these new series, but it would be interesting to go back and read Ultimate Invasion and just kind of see if those stories align or if they add more context to it. But if you don't know anything about any of this, read that and you'll get a little bit of a clue about how he's been jacking around with the universe so far. So.
Oh yeah. I know you were excited before. Oh, go ahead. Like,
no, that I didn't think about it till Nick just said it. Like he's kind of his origin's been changed. He's a grown man, like mid-30s, maybe early 30s when he gets his powers now. He was a teenager in Ultimate Invasion, so like 20 years have passed since the end of Ultimate Invasion to lead up into the series. So I'm curious to, I feel like that's Jonathan Hickman trying to work out some cool story or world building right there. I'm just curious to see what's changed in the 20 years since the end of Ultimate Invasion to Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1.
And you read it, so you know who else he jacked around with. I mean, there's some really powerful people that he screwed their origins up. So it's like, oh man, I wonder what that butterfly effect is,
Oh yeah.
I think this is really cool, dude, because I think one of the like I'm always saying this, like I always have these conversations with my buddy, the Pouch, who is on our show. And I'm like, make it make sense, right? So again, make it make sense. So you see this cover, you see the story that's about to be presented to us in this new Spider-Man. You can't just present this story like an Elseworld story and start right at the top. Oh, this is what's happening. No, you get some background with Ultimate Invasion. Yes. It makes sense, right? And then you get this story. I think one of the biggest complaints, right, with comic fans is some comic fans, right? But it's like, why don't characters age, right? Like, why doesn't Damian eventually take over as Batman? And we've had different iterations of characters where they did age, and then it was an Elseworld story. It's a Dark Knight Return story, and but in this Ultimate world, I love it because they're able to actually play around and mess with these ideas. I think that people are kind of hungry for and long for. And I was having a conversation with my buddy the Pouch the other day. He's a big Liefeld fan. That's why his name's the Pouch. But perfect. That's a whole other story. But we were just talking about that. Like, why don't they, make it make sense in the comics and have a 10? I know this is never going to happen, but have a 10-year plan. Like, let's get the Marvel editorial, DC editorial. Man, let's make a 10-year plan and let's naturally age Bruce Wayne from here to here. Yeah. And then around this time frame, you start to see, okay, Damian's starting to age up. He's starting to mature. He's still edgy, but he's starting to learn some things about what it really takes to be Batman. And then he takes over in 10 years from now. And then we get to see also Bruce has some stories as he's older. You know, he still can't let go, and things like that. I mean, there's lots to be had with these characters, and I love that. I love Batman, and I know some people hearing that are like, no, like I want Bruce and Batman to always be, Batman. But I mean, time goes, right, and we all evolve. We're all getting older. We were all kids at one time, and
yeah,
I'm interested in the Spider-Man story too, because I think it's going to be very relatable to us that we're parents, like some of the guys that have kids, right?
Yep.
And it's just like,
I'm glad you made that point too, because the majority of the readers are our age. So, art has to reflect life at some point. You know what I mean? We definitely need more stories like this. And I definitely agree with you. People are yearning for this kind of stuff. For sure. Hell yeah, man. I'm always excited for anything Jonathan Hickman and Marco Cicchetto. Give me whatever they're cooking. Yeah. That's my bottom line on this one. But let me get to the chat, see what people think, man. First of all, we got my brother Big Herm in the house.
Hey, Herm.
What is going on, Big Herm? If the devil were to cast a net, what a catch he'd have. Over here? Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Ultimate equals alternate, just like the original Ultimate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
My brother Actual Dracula in the house station saying good afternoon. Circumstances says Peter Parker Spider-Man is dead to me. Hasn't been relevant since volume 1.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
See, there's that whole fan base too, where they're just like, get rid of it. Like, we got Miles now. Like, let's just move forward with Miles. Like,
and Miles has been solid. So
it's been good.
Man.
That the Miles comic has been better than the ASM title
for sure.
I keep hearing
Kind
that.
of love the old.
I mean, that's a good. Oh yeah, the him being middle-aged Spidey. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Warren Smith said 53-year-old Peter putting preparation H on battling gas and high inflation, battling gas and high inflation. Absolutely, man. That's what we're asking for in our comics. We need that. We need that ground.
Still got the powers. I mean, he's still got the powers, man. So.
Oh man, Chris, can you breathe down there?
That's when you had him hidden behind the comment.
Right.
Oh, I see.
You did the one thing you swore
looking
you
for
never
air.
do.
Yeah, he's like, oh, wait till you leave the comments up for like 3 minutes. And he kind of jinxed me when he said that, because that's
he did. Like the next day. Yeah.
They are certainly trying to tie into the popularity of Peter B and the Spider-Verse. I agree 100%. Southern Comic Geek. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I like it. One reason I don't like Spidey, no evolution. Yeah. I guess that's what we're all saying, man. Oh man, the chat just jumped on me. Sorry guys. Hold on one sec. Find out where the hell I was. Oh wow, we got a lot of comments. Holy smoke. All right, okay.
This
here we go.
party's popping.
Yeah, man.
Spilio.
John Spilio in the house station. What is going on, John Spilio? Caution, sometimes what the people want is the worst idea. Yeah, that's true sometimes, for sure. Sometimes you can't listen to the fan base too hard. You can give them something, but sometimes you just gotta go in the direction and believe in yourself and get people.
But here, just real quick, because this brings up a point real quick. It's just, do you guys feel that sometimes when you think about, like, I think about, especially pick on Marvel, because I feel like there's a lot to like at DC, and they're running with some really good ideas. But the comic world and Marvel, the editorial, I'm like, I feel like there's a real disconnect of like, I don't know if they're sitting up there with their ideas and maybe not listening to the fan base at all, and they just sometimes run off with just stuff that you're like, why are we making this? Like, I think we're going to talk about something in a bit, not to bring up yet, but I'm just like, it's cool, but I'm like, it's not necessary, and I'm like, that's not what we want right now. I'm just like, where do you? Yeah, like what? Why is this happening? But I don't know. I'm curious. Like, do you feel like maybe they just are kind of like in their own world sometimes, and they're just doing too much talking amongst themselves and not reaching out and feeling what's happening?
I think that they have a plan, but it's just not being executed the right way. And I'll tell you why. Because I read a majority of Marvel comics, and things are, you know how people always say, well, why don't they mention this, or this is not going on while this is going on? Actually, if you're reading everything, it is. They are referencing things. They are saying things. But you'd never know it the way things are written, the way things are promoted. And I'll give you an example. Invincible Iron Man, right? Invincible Iron Man is so essential to the fall of X, but you'd never know it.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard anybody say that. Yeah.
Invincible
you have
Iron Man.
What's going on with Tony and everybody?
Yes,
you have to.
Issue 1, he's been fighting the leader of Orcus. Orcus, the guys who killed all the X-Men. Hello, this is a major connection here. You'd never know it. You never know it.
Yeah. And his wedding and his engagement and how that happened and the people that he's messing around with and the undercover stuff going on. It's like,
right now, Miles Morales is crossing over with Blade a little bit. Also, Blade's daughter. There was a Blade daughter series that came out not too long ago. Blade is in the midst of his mini right now. I mean, this is all stuff that if you promote it the right way, man, we can have a Blade series, Miles series, all like in conjunction, selling together. You know what I mean? As a unit, whatever.
Make it connect more though. Like if you think about some of the best titles at Marvel right now, I think about Incredible Hulk, right? Like I think that's one of the best, books that are happening right now at Marvel. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything else that's going on. You mentioned like Miles, right? You see Blade and the daughter, like that. That's a nice little blend right there, mashup.
Yeah.
But it's lacking, man. Like there's okay, we compare these two, and then this one's standalone. And when you look at what DC did with this past event,
Night Terrors.
I read so much Night Terrors. Right. So Night Terrors, that was one of my big things about it, and why I loved it so much was then putting a pause on every title, on the ongoing stuff, using this Night Terrors events to bring everything into continuity. Like ever since they started the dawn of DC, they've really brought these books and these stories together. Night Terrors paused everything. And I loved when you went into Night Terrors, the stories in Night Terrors actually were in continuity with the things that were happening in the ongoing books, like little references, little things you could pick up on in multiple books. And then right when Night Terrors ends, boom, we go right back into these stories, and they pick up, taking things out of the Night Terrors, immediately. And
like
each
everybody's
book,
in the same page when they come out.
Yes,
of the
it's
Night Terrors.
all connected.
We could go forward at the same pace.
I want Marvel to do that so badly. Like, it would just make that universe so much more fun and connected. It doesn't have to be like super extremely connected, but just it makes you feel like you're invested in this universe, and like, hey, Hulk's friends with this, or this thing, Hulk's pissed off about this, and somebody's gonna go check on him, but they just feel so disconnected, and it makes me like a fan of. I'm a fan of the Hulk, but then there's all these other books that I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care, and I want to care. I really do. Like, I really do want to care, but I don't.
No, you're not alone, Chris. You're just not alone for sure. Go ahead, Link.
Oh, my bad. I think I'm on a little delay, but I personally think that Marvel is a little too editorially driven right now. I love to talk about the early aughts in comics, but back then it was very creator driven, and they kind of just let these creators fly off the walls with their ideas. They couldn't get away with everything, but it was very go with it, But nowadays it's a very easy example is Jonathan Hickman's X-Men. He had a certain story he wanted to tell with a particular ending, and they're like, well, let's hold the brakes here. This is selling good. Let's pause your story. Editorial is getting too involved, and it fucks up or messes up the flow of things, So
yeah,
absolutely.
I can see what Chris is saying. Like, not that there's bad comics, but editorial has their hands in too many pockets right now.
Yeah. Agreed.
Now, I'll even add to Chris's point. It was good that you brought it up, because not only does that kind of event, the way that DC handled it, like I didn't like I don't like victim villains necessarily. So like it kind of fell flat, but I respected what you mentioned, which is they put a pause on everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then everybody was synced up. So no matter what DC book you bought that week or that month or whatever it was, they were all having this shared experience, and they were all going through it in their own manner. And then you had like the main book that kind of brought it all together.
Yeah.
The other thing that does is it syncs timelines across all the books too.
Yep.
Because now because like, okay, so Blade right now, if you're reading Blade, he just did this amazing train heist to get like the sword of Lucifer. And he went through this hell to get it. And he's been transported now somehow. That's still a little elusive to me, to this end boss, right? With him and his two companions. But yet he's with Miles right now, fighting with his daughter, who's not in the Blade book.
Right.
Teaming up with Miles, giving him a new suit. And he's fighting this other ancient vampire guy in the subway. And then Hightail, or whatever her name is I can't remember the new anti-hero in Miles' book right now. But she's involved too. I'm like, well, wait a minute. How is this happening? It's the Wolverine effect, right? He's like he's in every single thing. He's in every panel. And it's like, how can that possibly be? So like,
how is that possible? Yeah.
Yeah. They need to do a better job. Editorial needs to do a better job of syncing stories up and making sure that we know what's happening across the board in other areas. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I just feel like they need a whiteboard and editorial in their office, and just big, bold, capital letters. Make it make sense, and then start from there. And work your way down.
Have a
make
header.
It make sense.
I'm a spreadsheet guy. Have a header called present day, and then go down your rows, and then just be like, okay, where's Blade? He's here, but then this book is 3 issues behind. So okay, we can't introduce this. How hard could that be, guys? You know?
Yeah. They were doing it before, so it can't be that hard.
Yeah,
and we have better ways of implementing these systems than we did back in the 70s, and so there really is no excuse for it. But Southern Comic Geek said they voted to kill off Jason Todd Robin. Let the people vote to make Peter and MJ back together. Yeah, I think they'll definitely win that vote. Everybody loves Peter and MJ. I mean, I think most people do. I know I do. Hey, Chop and Drop 2013 in the house. Hey, Shin Chop and Drop, how are you, my friend? I still remember renew your vows. ...
Good old days.
M2 had Mayday Parker. There you go. I know Herm and Link are fans of Mayday Parker for sure. I gotta pick up those series. I never read any of those. Finally got my makeup off. Station to everybody in the chat. Thank you, brother Joe. Station, man. What happened to Peter Porker, the Spider Pig? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure he's around, man. I'm sure he's around. Let's see. I want more Peter B. Parker and Baby Mayday, please. Oh yeah, see, I knew he loved Mayday Parker. Let me see, man. So many good people in the house today. Thank you, everybody, once again for joining us this afternoon. You guys are amazing. Southern Comic Geek said the optimist side of me is excited. The pessimist side of me thinks that at this point, Marvel would even ruin a wet dream.
Yeah. He's not wrong, man. He's not wrong.
That's a good one. Ultimate Marvel was all I read back in the day. There you go. Looking forward to giving this a try, hoping it won't feel like another money. Phil, me and you, we right here, brother. We right here, brother, because that's how I'm feeling. Like, I know Jonathan Hickman is involved. I know Marco Cicchetto's involved. I know these great creators are involved. But I don't know if Marvel's involved, if that makes any sense. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're going to put it out because it's going to make money, but do they believe in it enough to make it anywhere past whatever little issues are going to come out? You know what I mean? Is it going to reverberate? Is it going to make sense, like Chris says?
Make it make sense.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's the new tagline, man. You did it. I need comics that have no real reality. It detracts from the fantastic elements, in my opinion. No real reality. Well, I think that's most comics are. Yeah.
I don't know. That was Stan's whole thing. It's like we gave Spider-Man real problems because it was relatable. So like, there's a balance, right?
Yeah.
You
I mean,
need
just the
something
fact that he
familiar.
has powers right there is like,
Yeah.
there you go, you know?
You need that perfect balance of like familiarity with
Yeah.
like you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, none of us are actually. We're never actually going to be bitten by a radioactive spider. You know,
I let spiders bite me all the time, and it's never.
it's just not happening, man. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Been to the ER a few times. But...
He said Dawn of DC is definitely righting the ship. So Trev is with you on what you're saying, Chris. CJ, what in the blue hell are you doing here? It's too early for you. Where is he? Where's CJ? Journey's in the house? I didn't see him.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Where he is? Oh, man. I didn't see him. Where? Oh, man, I'm going.
He's at the bottom right now. Yeah.
Oh, he's at the bottom right now. Okay, hold on. Let me say what up to Comic Journey. Hey, you guys are terrible at keeping up with this. I'm still learning, Comic Journey. Damn,
yeah, we need faster hands. We get it.
All right, man. Let's get to our last topic. Well, it's our last topic. There's one more bonus one I want to get to real quick just because of our guests that we have today. But the third topic, man, and this one's fresh off the presses, man. This is less than 24 hours old. I got this yesterday, man. My brother. And special shout out to Eric the Stash Durant. If you're still in the house, thank you, E. You helped a whole bunch sending me these stories. He's the one that sent me this last night. But we had just reported that the Daredevil Reborn TV series coming out on Disney Plus was in major trouble, right? They let go of their showrunners. They let go of their writers. They were already halfway through production when the strikes started happening, so they had to stop production. Kevin Feige took a look at the footage and said, we're not going with this. No. So they dumped whatever they had as far as plans, and they had to restructure, redo the show. And we were speculating whether or not this thing was ever going to get out the door, right? Because it was like, how long does it take to make a TV show? The strikes are still not over. I think this thing's in major trouble. Well, the Hollywood Reporter reported yesterday that the Daredevil TV series has just landed a new showrunner and new writers. So they definitely got on top of it ASAP. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. That speedy response gives me hope. But let me continue. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Dario Scardapane, whose recent credits include Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, as well as Netflix's Marvel show, The Punisher, has been tapped to act as the new showrunner for the series. Additionally, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who are coming off of directing episodes of Loki Season 2, which I hear is phenomenal. I don't know if you guys been keeping up with Loki, but I heard that last episode of Loki, no joke. Yeah, I heard it was serious business. I don't know if these guys directed it, but if they're directing on that show, you know, I have some hope there.
Yeah.
Coming off directing episodes of Loki Season 2 have been hired to helm the remaining episodes that will constitute the first season on Disney Plus. So basically, they're gonna shoot whatever's left. It's on those guys. As you guys know, Daredevil Born Again was in mid-production in New York when the writers and actors strike forced it to pause. And when Marvel execs reviewed the footage, they had a change of heart and decided to go in a new direction. The show was being headed by Chris Ord and Matt Corman, who were the head writers, but now they have been moved to executive producer. So they did not go away. When we covered it, we said they went away. No, they're still involved, but they're not writing the show and they're not the heads of the show. They're just producing it, which I think is just an honorary title that Marvel's giving them. But that's just me. That's what I think.
They could have dozens of producers on those things.
Right. Marvel will keep some scenes and episodes that have already been shot. So that's important. They're not just throwing away all the footage. Though other serialized elements will be injected. So they're going to break it up and somehow edit it together kind of thing. Scardapane will write the new episodes and the new scenes incorporating what was already shot. So the showrunner is going to have a hand in re-editing whatever they made with the new elements. Benson and Moorhead will direct the new episodes to bring this first season to a close. It is unclear how many episodes it would be. So remember, we got a figure of 18 that first go around, which I think scared a lot of people on Daredevil
extreme.
Reborn. I mean, 18 is a lot, right, guys? I think we all agreed on that when we covered it. But so my questions, of course, for my beautiful panel and the beautiful people in the chat. Do you have more hope for Daredevil Reborn now? Now that you got this announcement that they're really, trying to finish this show up. And when do you think this thing is coming out? I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I'll start with Missing Link. Daredevil Reborn, man. New writers, new showrunner. What do you think?
So whatever. I mean, I'm not too familiar with either of the the new executive producers' background. Marvel's Punisher was cool. Or the Netflix Punisher was cool. I love John Bernthal. I enjoyed John Bernthal in season 2 of Daredevil more than I enjoyed any of the Punisher's shows. I'll say that much.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll still watch it. I mean, I feel the same way I felt before this change happened. I'm gonna watch it. Hopefully this is course correction.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of I'll watch it.
I want to clip that right there. I want to clip Link just having a brain fart. He can't say nothing. You're like,
it's like I'll watch it when it comes out. I think the earliest we will probably see it is sometime in 2025. I don't think, anything that was in the early stages of production, I don't think we'll see next year at all. I think that's all going to be pushed back to 2025 and later. But hopefully, well,
yeah, agreed, man. I think that what you tried to say and couldn't say is exactly how we all feel. We're like, But Chris, man, Daredevil Reborn, what do you think, man? You happy now? They're moving along?
I really like Link's take, man. I think I'm gonna go with the same. But no, you know what? This is the world we live in now, where we get all this news where, hey, we're getting rid of this team, we're bringing this team on. I don't think we even really need to know. Like, at this point, I'm like, just keep working. I don't need the announcements. Like, you're getting our hopes up and down, and now there's a delay. Like, we're already used to all the delays by now. Like, we know things are delayed. We know there's multiple strikes going on, and it's just like, I don't need to know that. And I wish that when it actually comes to the Daredevil series itself, I wish that it was possible to just get the team that did the Netflix series, because I thought that the Netflix series was amazing. The Daredevil Netflix series. I wish we could just bring that team back and to write this one, but I know we're on Disney now doing the show, and but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I seriously doubt if they're this far behind at this point. We're at the end of 2023. There's a good chance we might get this till end of 2025. Who knows, man? It's gonna be a while, and these actors are just gonna continue to age, and it's like, like, are these the same guys who were in the other show?
No. Next time you see Kingpin and Daredevil, it's supposed to be the day after She-Hulk. Like, whatever happened to She-Hulk is the day. Even though it's 5 years later in real time.
Okay.
You talk about it. I mean, the She-Hulk was fun, and the whole bringing Daredevil into that. But talk about a total change in tone of that character in the She-Hulk, in contrast to the Netflix. I'm like,
Chris, it's traumatizing.
I know.
I'm
not trying to. I know. I'm not trying to pull off the scab here, but man, it's just like, so we're. I'm kind of, that is the thing that worries me the most, is like, we brought him in and showed him in this way in that show, and is some of that going to be brought into the Disney Daredevil? And I'm hoping not. So I hope it's more true to the Netflix tone of that character.
Yeah, I mean, I think they know that we want that, or the majority of people. They're not totally deaf and blind to it. And I think Kevin Feige maybe he saw that footage and was like, okay, I want something different, but I don't want that shit.
Oh man,
we can't have it too different from the Netflix thing. But Nick, man,
Yeah.
what do you think about this move, man? Are you more relieved now? Like, this thing is coming.
I mean, the only thing that gives me relief is the fact that they had announced the replacements so quickly. I mean, I think you were kind of alluding to that as well. I think if they sat on it until January or something like that, let the strike kind of roll out, and then they can kind of figure out what they wanted to do, if they wanted to do something at all. The fact that they named some more people kind of gives me hope, but they're not doing anything. They're just sitting around right now, theorizing how they're possibly going to use the footage they already shot and how they're going to mix that in with the things that they have to do to make those complete episodes. And you said something interesting about these new people writing the back end. It's like, what about the front end? The front end was awful, apparently, and you're not going to use all of it. So you have to rewrite the front end. So whose job is that going to be? Maybe you mentioned it and I just didn't hear it.
Yeah, the showrunner, Scartapan, he's going to be in charge of trying to remix what was already done.
Just remix everything. Yeah. So I feel like I'm going to be sitting back going like, oh, that wasn't there. No, that wasn't the intention. Oh, that wasn't, like the editing is going to maybe give that away a little bit. But Link's right. It's not going to come out. It's not going to come out in 24. There's no way. I mean, if this strike goes on for another few months, I mean, like, there's just no way that's going to happen. But I'm excited for it. I like the idea. I don't think if the strike didn't happen, the previous one, I think they may have went through with the show the way it was. I think the fact that they all kind of hit pause, it gave them a moment to look back on it. And then the people were just like, we're going to get our asses kicked if we set this thing out. So I hope that they would have made that decision regardless of the strikes. But, if there's anything good about them, they gave them an opportunity to check out things, quality control it. They don't like it. Hopefully they'll make the appropriate changes. So we all get that warm, nostalgic Netflix vibe back,
Yeah.
But,
we'll
see. Is that Kevin Feige's going to use the footage that was already filmed? They're actually going to use that for just the intro for the Daredevil intro on the. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. But so what I am thinking though is you mentioned that the other people are going to be producers, listed as producers still. I think they have to because they were involved with some of the edits that are going to be carried forward. So of course they're going to have to be named. So I think that's probably the only credit they'll probably have, but maybe they'll have some kind of creative input to the new stuff as well. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm going to talk about credits, man. I'm going to miss that beginning credits to Daredevil. It's one of the baddest ass credit intros.
Oh yeah.
Television show, that dripping paint thing.
Every time skip intro comes, I'm like, nope, we're watching it.
Yeah.
Why would we change that?
I forgot about how much I love that, man.
Yeah, it was
all right. So I don't care if that makes any sense. I don't really care. I've already accepted that we're not getting the Daredevil Netflix show. No matter what they do. I don't care what they do. I don't care how they try to replicate it. If they try to replicate it, they go in another direction. That show is over, and you just got to make do with it. You know what I mean? You got to make your peace with it. Whatever we're going to get is whatever we're going to get. I could only hope that it's as good, if not better, even if it does have a different tone. So whenever it comes, it comes. That's how I'm real, like, whatever with it. You know what I mean? TV in general, I'm like that in general, because I feel like we are inundated. We have too much. I can't decide whether I want to watch Star Trek Picard or The Boys or
Gen V
or this new pretentious television show that's coming out on Apple Plus, or I just don't know. Or play Spider-Man 2. Holy crap, we forgot Spider-Man 2's out there. What do we do? You know what I mean? I'm with whatever, with a lot of things. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of us are. Yeah.
You guys are like a Gen V though. Like, so man, I gotta. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't know anything about it. So.
But I'm always hopeful and I'm always positive. You know me, guys. I don't want nothing to suck. A rising tide raises all boats. This show is a success, means everything becomes successful down the line. It's a good indication for everything to get good. And I always want our stuff to be in the limelight, because for so many years our stuff was in the trash. Oh, you're immature, you're a little boy, you like video games, you like comic books, you know what I mean? So I want to keep our stuff out there on top of the world, you know what I mean? But anyway, let me get to the chat. It's fall with a high probability of squirrels. I think this illustrates how we should wait and see and not prejudge it, Joe said. Station Joe, yeah, I agree 100%, man. When it comes, it comes. As long as he is still booty calling She-Hulk, I'm good with it. Yo, I agree with you, James. Oh yeah, man. She-Hulk,
Just make sure it matches the tone when he does it.
Just like it's obvious to get Pete and MJ together, Chris is spot on. Just get the Netflix folks to run the new Daredevil. Yeah, but you know what? I think they burned their bridges with those people. Because if it was that easy, it'd happen. I think they wanted it to happen, and they were begging for it to happen, but Disney came in and said, no, we're Disney. We do things just a little bit different around here. And it's like, oh, come on. Come on. That's what we want. You know what I mean? But whatever. Yeah. Taylor Swift might appear in it, I heard. Don't start. That, Joe. Don't say that, Joe.
Here we go, man.
Take a shot.
I was actually going to cover that Taylor Swift thing. I was like, nah, I'm not touching that Taylor Swift thing. Charlie Cox about to be bald in like a month.
Yeah.
That is so true, dude.
I know.
Oh, snap. Lost in Comics in the house. Asia. What is going on, Perry? How are you, man? Oh, man, everybody. So many good people. I wasn't worried about Daredevil before, but I'm now.
Oh, no.
I'm not getting any younger. Is this thing actually coming out? Oh, boy. I agree, brother. I agree.
2030.
Oh, yeah. Too much content to consume, not enough time.
Well, we appreciate you being here right now. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, thank you guys. So much content, and you guys are here hanging with us.
Stay tuned at 7 p.m. Central Time for it.
Yeah, go check out Nick too, man. His content is awesome. Loki got pretty dark last episode. Yes, that's what I heard. I'm like super amped to watch Loki now. That shit got me excited.
I haven't started that yet.
Everybody's saying that, yeah. So hopefully Disney willing to put out more mature content with Daredevil. Yes, that's a good point, man. If they're going there with Loki, why not, man? Why not? And I thought that was the point of the whole password thing, right? Wasn't that a whole password thing they did? They did a password thing for mature content when they wanted to import the Disney shows, the Netflix shows rather. They imported the Netflix shows and they did a password thing like they never had that before.
Yeah.
I thought that was the point. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. One last little story I wanted to cover. It's a little thing. But I wanted to cover because I got my brother Missing Link here, and I just wanted to get his hot take on this, and everybody in the chat too, because I know there's fans of this character. But for the fourth and last story, Marvel releases Sentry designs ahead of the December 6th release. So Marvel is releasing a new Sentry series. I know my man Missing Link is a big Sentry fan. He tells me all the time, go pick this up. I think it was one of his characters that he first started reading when he first got in, right? Is that it with Sentry? It's like one of your first books?
Like newer characters that I really dove into around my teenage years.
Okay.
There you go.
So they basically revealed these new covers just like they did for the Ultimate Spider-Man for this new Sentry series coming out in December. It's being written by Jason Liu, who just finished writing X-Men Unlimited, and artist Luigi Zagaria, who just did Midnight Suns. And in the press release, Jason Liu goes on to say, and it's an interesting premise too, this entire series is a mystery where we follow Jessica Jones and Misty Knight as they figure out these catastrophic accidents caused by random strangers with the Sentry's powers. So basically, people running around with his powers, they're doing shit. Here comes Misty Knight and Jessica Jones to figure out what's going on, right?
Yep.
You're going to witness a bunch of origin stories, like Mallory Gibbs, a writer for Frontline News who lives with cerebral palsy. Farhad Anand is a mutant keeping a low profile as a DoorDash bicycle courier. And Ryan Topper, a teenage fanboy who gets to live his dream of becoming a superhero. And there are a few more further in the story, but the real question is, how are they all connected to Robert Reynolds, who is the Sentry, right? That's his real name.
Yeah.
The press release goes on to say the Sentry is dead. And hold on, I'm going to put up some pictures here because we do have some of these covers. There we go. So
these are the characters that he just mentioned.
Yeah, that's Farhad. Yep.
Okay.
Mallory.
Yeah,
Mallory.
Mallory. But yeah, the press release goes on to
Right.
say the Sentry is dead, but ordinary people all over the world are suddenly manifesting his powers and experience snippets of Bob Reynolds' memories. So they're also going to have bits of his memories. But not everybody could be trusted with such responsibility, sparking a violent conflict to control the Sentry's legacy. Will one of them survive long enough to emerge as the new Sentry? And that's what I thought was interesting right there. Two things. First, he's dead. He dead. Like they reiterated that like twice in this thing. And new Sentry. Or will their newfound power destroy them? When Misty Knight and Jessica Jones cross paths in search of answers, they open an investigation that will change everything you think you know about the Sentry. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think, Missing Link? When I saw this, I thought of you immediately, my brother. Does this sound too weird for you? This is a gimmick.
I'm gonna check it out because I do like to read. It's not like Sentry's got a bunch of things out there. Alexa, sorry, my app popped up. I'm gonna check it out just because it's Sentry related. You guys should sorry,
I said shut up.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm a little. I think in the sense that there's been rumors about Stephen Ewing playing Sentry in the Thunderbolts movie. You know, this could easily just be rumors, but with this, you know, for 20 plus years, Bob Reynolds has been the Sentry. So with them in this miniseries, different people are getting Sentry's powers and stuff. I think it adds more credit or strength to the rumor of Stephen Ewing playing the Sentry in the Thunderbolts movie. That I don't know. I'm gonna read it, but that's the only reason I can think of why they're going this route within the comics. It's because there's gonna be a contrast in the movies that they want to line up with. Yeah, Sentry. Don't know too much about the creative team, but I do enjoy all things Sentry. So I'm gonna check it out. But I do think it's kind of a gimmick.
Yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts. Do you think are you disappointed that what's his name, Robert?
Bob. Yes.
Robert Reynolds. Yeah, Bob Reynolds. Are you kind of disappointed that he's not? I don't know. It seems like that he's dead. Like dead.
He's thrown. Yeah, I mean, I always thought that was kind of like a cool aspect of the character. Like he, it's like, you know, Superman was raised right, but what if, you know, the spin on Sentry is like, what if like they altered it over the years, but essentially it's like, what if like the piece of shit got the powers of Superman, you know, and how would he handle that? So I don't know too much. You know, these new characters could have aspects of that, but I always thought that was an interesting thing with Sentry is that he was literally struggling against his own darkness, you know, and he had like the powers of a god. So I don't know if these characters will have that struggle or dynamic, but I'll give it a chance.
Yeah,
but I am a little bummed they're taking him out by
Yeah, I thought you would be. Nick, real quick, or Chris, real quick. You guys have any experience with the Sentry? Does this thing do anything for you?
No, it doesn't do anything for me personally. When I see a team of people randomly getting powers and like there's going to be one eventually, I get like Shazam vibes. And I'm just out. I don't really care. Sentry in general is a very interesting character. He's been shown in some arcs and things like that. And whenever he comes by, it's not an insignificant moment. Like when he's involved, shit's going down, right? So I'm trying to think like when did Sentry die? Was that like King in Black or something like that? Like when did Sentry because I think he like rips him in half, right? He just like takes him upstairs. Sentry's beating the shit out of him, and he stops the scene, and he's like, "All right, that's enough," and he just pulls him apart. I think that's the last time I ever saw him. Yes. So if that's his energy, the essence, the being going out and like Green Lantern ring finding people, then I think that's interesting. Who knows?
Chris, real quick, man. Sentry, you know anything about the character? Are you excited at all for any of this?
Not very much as far as knowing about the character, and I've wanted to know more about him because I've had people tell me, well, you know, he's just as powerful as Superman, if not more, you know, powerful than Superman, and that's fantastic. And I'd like to read some of the older stuff, but when I hear this particular story, I'm not turned on at all. Like my comic juices are not flowing right now. I'm just like this reminds me of
emojis from you.
Yeah, no, none of that, man. I'm just, this is giving me like what was it? That's the Captain America story that
Yes!
was just where it's like
United
multiple
States of
Captain
Captain America.
Americas.
Yes.
I was gonna bring
And
people
I'm just
up on
like,
here in a minute. Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not interested in that. And I'm my motto today is make it make sense. I just like I get so frustrated with some of this stuff, and if they do this and the original character Bob Reynolds is dead, and make it make sense. Like if you're gonna do this, make it a good story. I'll probably check out the first issue you just never know, but I'm not very hopeful for it.
There was a cool, super quick. There was a cool moment in Evil. Was it? Oh shit! What was it called? Secret Empire, the Hail Hydra Captain America thing. I think Sentry was involved. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But they put that shield around the Earth, right? And all the superheroes are out in space. And I think they use Sentry as like a gauge on how strong the shield is, if I'm not mistaken. So they're like, dude, just go ham on the shield. And once he couldn't get through, they're like, all right. Plans in action now. All right, and then Cap like goes buck wild. That was a cool moment. So he's had some really interesting moments. But
yeah, I'm with you guys. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, doesn't it feel like that when you have a character like that, a property like that, you should really and let's put something very good around this. Am I mistaken? Didn't Lemire do a run of Sentry?
He did 2018 miniseries. Yeah,
right.
There you go.
Okay. How was that? I didn't read that.
That was good. That the Paul Jenkins stuff, even the Lemire miniseries, all solid. Like Sentry said, his books for the most part, he's not had many, so it's like everything that's come out by Sentry has been solid, in my opinion. I know some people didn't like the Paul Jenkins stuff, but I think if you're a Lemire fan, he did some interesting things with the character.
It's good to know.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I've always been interested in reading about the Sentry. I always like ultra powered guys like that, like him, Superman, Omni-Man, guys that have these like mega super OP powers. What was that guy back in the days? Was it Prime? The guy with like
Prime,
9 million muscles. Yeah. I used to love. I always loved that archetype for some reason. So, but I'm with Chris. Yes, this gave me definite United States of Captain America vibes. And yes, I do feel like it's a gimmick. And yes, I do feel like they're pandering to a certain crowd. And I do feel like they're just putting this out, man. It's just not, you know what I mean? It's like I said, the writers and the artists might believe in it. Does Marvel believe in it? I don't know. You know what I mean? This feels like another one of those. But I just wanted to bring it up because I know Stef is a big fan. I saw it and I said, I got to get Stef's opinion while he's on the show about this Sentry book because is this it? Should I get on this? But I had a feeling it wasn't going to be that way. So, yeah, that is the end of the news, guys, man. Thank you, everybody, for your opinions, your thoughts, everybody in the chat. I think Comic Journey took another swipe at me. You really, really, really are terrible at keeping up with
the use.
And then Joe said, you were skipped on purpose, Comic Journey. and then I was like, wait a minute. If CJ set me up, then I didn't skip you, CJ. I did not skip you, okay? I'm all for a new Sentry book, but there's so many more Bob Reynolds stories that could have been told. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you 100%. Hey, Mike Hags in the house station. What is going on? All right, man. Yeah, so that's the end of the news. Let us now get into something we like to call the blaming, man. What is the blaming? It's a glorified show and tell. It's basically we show off our hauls or things we have, and we call it the blaming because you might blame us for that new bill you got in the email because you went on eBay and was like, damn it, Chris, why did you show that Pokemon card the other day? Why did you show that? I had to go on eBay and pay twice, but yeah. Let's get into the blaming, guys. Hold on one sec.
Why don't I own this? Why don't I own this?
All right, man. I love these videos you made, Nick. I know, Link, you're gonna skip this one, right, Link? You're skipping this blaming. All right, so I'll go first
Yes,
because
sir.
my blaming is very tiny. As you may or may not know, I'm a little bit of a comic book hiatus. I'm trying to move and I'm trying to actually get rid of books. So a quick cheap plug, go to my eBay if you need some indie books. I got them for about $2 a piece. You can't go wrong. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of books. So I'm not really collecting, so I don't have really any of that stuff, but I still got some figures and some other stuff that came in. So earlier we were talking about video games, and I did not get Spider-Man 2 just yet. $70 is a lot of money for a video game.
Yeah.
But I will get it. I will get it. I am a vision, but I did get some games. I've been on a retro kick lately. So this game came out maybe a month ago, but it just came out physically, and that's Red Dead Redemption. The original Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
Yeah, man, for the Nintendo Switch, man. So you know I'm gonna have this on the go. It's a perfect game to have on the go. Definitely happy to have this.
Did that come out through? Hold on. Did that come out through that one company, or is that like a regular?
No, this is like Rockstar.
No, it's Rockstar. Okay, I didn't know if you got it through that. What's that website? I can't remember.
Limited Run.
Limited Run. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. But no. This is Rockstar. They didn't have a physical for Switch the first month, so it took a month for the physical to come out.
Dang, pick that up.
I got him. I'm blaming.
I can't buy that game twice. The second time. It's sitting somewhere.
And I got another game that you might want to buy too, Nick. I don't know.
Oh,
Depends
shut
on
up.
your love for this series, but I picked up Metal Gear Master Collection, brother. So this is all the Metal Gear games 1 through 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Come on. This is one of the greatest gaming stories ever. We were talking about gaming mediums and telling stories within the gaming medium. This is the godfather of that. This is what sparked off all of it. Metal Gear, right? After this game dropped, everything wanted to be a movie in video games. Everything. It's because of this game right here. So yeah, pick that up. Definitely love having that. And of course, I picked up some Transformers figures. Some studio series figures came out. You know, the new Rise of the Beast movie. So first up, they came out with Rise of the Beast, Nightbird. I don't know if you can see that too good.
Yeah.
Show you. She turns into a Nissan Skyline.
It's a Skyline, baby.
Favorite cars, yeah. And I got it right here, so you can check her out.
Sweet.
She's okay. I'm not gonna say she's awesome. Go run out and buy her because look at all that junk back there. We hate this, Transformers fans. We hate when all the junk is back there like that. But she's a cool little looking ninja, so definitely picked her up. And probably the star of that movie, or the one that everybody talked about, I picked up Studio Series Mirage. So this is like the guy who replaced Bumblebee basically in the new Rise of the Beast movie. And of course, he turns into a beautiful Porsche 911. And this is officially licensed from Porsche. So that's definitely how the Porsche 911 looks. And he's also a disappointment, man. I love him. He's got, he's cool. He's got plenty of great paint on him, paint applications. He's a cool looking character, right? Yeah. But here we go. Look, the whole car is on his ass. The entire car, the doors, everything is hanging off him. You can't move them too well when their kibble is like that, right? And then another problem with him is that he's made out of clear plastic, dude. This is the worst thing you want to make something out of when you're constantly clicking pieces together. This stuff snaps like nobody's business. So you got silver paint applications that can get scratched easily, see-through parts, and all the junk in the trunk. So even though he's beautiful, I don't recommend him, but he's still pretty cool. I get these things so that they're going to sit on my shelf anyway. It's not like I'm playing with it. But if you're playing with it, don't buy him. And then the last one is a Studio Series character that they got right this time. And that is Studio Series 86 Ratchet, man. This is the doctor of the original G1 series. I absolutely love this character. Of course, he took a dirt nap in the 86 movie. They killed him and Ironhide in the same scene. causing a young Phable to scream at his screen, "What are you doing?" Ah! You know, I was going crazy. But yeah, man, happy to have this. And this came out beautiful. It does have see-through transparent plastic, which I do hate. But in this case, it kind of works for this character, right? You kind of want that.
Yeah, it's a windshield in the chest, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna work. It works.
exactly.
It's not an
So it's
arm,
beautiful.
you know, or whatever.
It's not
that
an
was.
arm, right? They didn't make his
it's
arm
stupid.
transform to his window.
Yeah, that's
so
stupid.
dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's my blaming. Nick, what do you got for us?
So I tried to do at least one of the things matching our guests. So I know you had Alex Cormack on recently. So I actually have Crimson Cage issue number 1 at a 9.8. So
Nice.
what I started to do recently, I've
That's
mentioned this
dope,
before,
dude.
is like the books that I really enjoyed that year, like my top 2 or 3 books of the year, I try to grab the number 1 at a 9.8. And that just happens to work out really well because modern books like this, you can practically get for cover price plus CGC costs. You know, you're not paying $100 for something like this. You're paying like $45. So it's like, okay, perfect. So I've done that for a few years now. I got to figure out what I'm going to do this year, but yep, just got that one there.
Oh yeah, that's dope, dude.
Crimson Cage is amazing. You guys got to check
yeah.
that out.
Yeah.
I just finished Gilbert Hernandez Julio's Day, so I recommend this.
I heard about that
as
one.
well. So I bought it because it was they covered it on Cartoonist Kayfabe, and so I went ahead and checked it out. Jim and Ed both said that this was like the most lent out book that they had in their collections to different people, and it was a great read, man. I mean, if you're into if you haven't read anything outside of Cape and Cowl kind of stuff, this is going to be really weird for you, I would imagine. But like if you're into indie books and you like stories that go over literally from birth to death of a single character and like the interactions with the family and how screwed up and crazy things can be, yeah, I think you might dig this. All black and white kind of art as well. So it's super cheap. Go on eBay, get you a copy, and yeah, that's it. And then last but not least, it's a few different things. Halloween time. So let's go ahead and show off some Halloween stuff.
Hell yeah. So man, I'm here. See, yeah, I do suck at this. I'm gonna get better though, guys. I promise. I get better. I should have been better at, right? I should have been did this. Like,
oh, it's okay. So I'm
showing off all my stuff. I'm gonna go again on my blaming, I think.
No, you've had your time. You're done. So my shop used to do a lot more pops, but I got this whole set for these like blacklight ones for Nightmare First, obviously. So we got Mayor and Oogie Boogie. And then we got, I'll show the next one. I've got Zero in this like blacklight fashion. So he's pretty cool. And then of course,
that's dope, dude. Hell yeah.
And then of course, Jack and Sally. So, and got the pair.
Don't let my wife see those. Don't let my wife.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. I have one more Jack, and it's like it's kind of like a Day of the Dead. Black. He's got like a bunch of tattoos and stuff all over him, which is interesting. But I like the blacklight set. So. That's all I got for the blaming this week.
That's dope, dude. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Let me just say what up to. Hold on. I said what up to Mike. I'll say what up again, Mike. Station. Somebody else that said what up. I don't know. I guess it got clipped. Sorry, guys, if I haven't gotten to your comments. CJ's absolutely right. I am terrible at this, but I'm trying to get better. I promise you I will.
Yeah.
But let's. But let's get to the last blaming. My man Chris, take us home, brother.
All right, so since Nick brought up Alex Cormack, we'd had him on the show recently. Just one of the best, most underrated comic artists, I think, of this time. And I think people are starting to take notice. You start to see a lot more comics coming out from him. But these are chrome. They're metallic cards, trading cards, and they are from the John Lee's Alex Cormack comic Sync. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that book.
Yeah.
So good. And like I said, he had a Kickstarter for the last issue of Sync, and one of the rewards was these cards, and then I had them signed at Heroes Con this past year, and I have them in a little sleeve. But yeah, these are so cool, man. I got the character there, Iron Tooth Jack, and then you got Sink Hill. These are super cool. Metallic, so nice. Man. Those are so cool.
Let Robbie see that. Thank God Robbie's not
Robbie missed out, man. Got to get on Kickstarter, bro. This one right here is a I felt like in the Turtles mood today when I put the turtle shirt on. This is speaking of video games. I don't know if you recall these, y'all. Do y'all remember these?
Yeah.
Oh,
These are so cool, man.
Oh, yeah.
I remember as a kid, you hear that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's just listen in.
Oh,
You remember the sound? Even the sound.
Look how far we've come, people. Look how far we've come.
my anxiety goes up every time I see
Those
that. Hear
tags-
that.
Right. And the buttons
Yeah,
are so
Stef,
hard
exactly.
to use, man. But this is 1989.
That's sick.
So
Oh,
very
yeah,
cool.
dude, I remember those, man. They had a bunch of them. They had didn't they have a hockey one, the Blades of Steel?
Yeah.
They had everything.
Different. Yeah,
Those
they had
Tiger
everything.
games.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that one, and then this right here is a remake from the original 1988 original Turtles series here,
Oh, sweet.
but unopened in the box there. Got all 4 turtles.
Nick's spine.
It's a beauty, man.
Yeah, he just got Nick. Yeah, absolutely, he just got Nick. Nick is trying to play it off too. You see how cool he's trying to
I'm
act?
cool, guys. I don't need that at all.
With that other hand, the other hand is
Come on, turn around again.
Right there. Even the sides. I mean, look at it.
All right.
It's
Yep. Got it.
Pretty, man.
Yep.
So pretty.
Hell yeah.
Look at that.
All right, put it down.
I love
Put it down.
I love these, man. Like I just have them sitting on the show. I randomly just will stare at them, dude. Like, and I have this game next to it on the shelf, and I'll just randomly. I don't really want to play it that much, but I just pick it up and play it anyway. Just cool. It's nostalgic, even just the sound.
Are you gonna?
What was that?
Are you gonna open it one day?
No. The turtle one? No. I have these opened that I bought loose already. So
Gotcha.
I have the loose figures already, and then
Sweet.
I just keep this one unopened.
Yeah.
So there's those, and then lastly, I'll pull out the big gun here, the ASM 300.
Nice.
I bring this out super low grade. Low grade.
It's
So exactly. So but if you look here, I mean, you'll see all the almost like it's almost detached from the spine. But I went to a like a flea market type of area, and they had this sitting up on the wall, and I was like, man, I didn't have an ASM 300. I'm not willing to spend what an ASM 300 costs.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I said, how much do you have that for? And he had it marked at $80. And I saw it, and then I came back like a few weeks later, and it was still there, and I had a conversation with the dude, and I said, man, that thing's just gonna sit there, man. Like he's like, I was like, nobody's gonna buy it. I mean, look at the spine on it. It's almost, the cover's almost off. He goes, how much will you give me? And I said, how about $40? And he's like, take it for $40, dude.
Oh,
I got this for $40, dude. $40.
Good for you.
So,
Yo,
I mean,
you just brother Joe.
You brother Joe.
Yeah. Look,
I just like,
all I got is $40. Take it or leave it.
Here's 40 right here, bro.
2 pieces of lint. What do you think?
I don't know. I was surprised. I thought he was going to come back at the 50 or the 60, and he took the 40, and I was like, all right, cool, man. So I'm very happy to have a low grade, better than no grade in my collection with the ASM 300 there. But yeah, that's what I got. These are my items.
Hell yeah, brother.
Awesome, dude.
Hell yeah, man. That was an awesome blading, dude, man. Oh man, thank you, everybody, man. That's the end of the show. Awesome blaming, awesome news segments. I had a lot of fun today, guys, man. I was feeling a little lethargic lately. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been a little down, my headspace is too filled up right now with all the things that I have to do and all the the people and places that I have to keep up with, and sometimes it's a little difficult to muster up the energy to do one of these things. As you know, you guys are content creators. You got to be kind of on, or it's not going to be a good one. But man, you guys have made it so much fun. This chat has been crazy. CJ over here making fun of me.
It's been a good one.
Everybody's been making it awesome, man. You guys are the best, man. I love this community. So before we head out of here, let me just hear what you guys got going on. If you want to mention anything, I'll start with Missing Link. Missing Link. Anything coming up you want to plug real quick?
Every Wednesdays, you know, our brother Stu and I do Supreme Clientele. We just had our other brother Taki on as esteemed guest of honor this week, so that was really fun. Go check it out. It's great to have Taki on. Of course, we're always telling them this. We need you more, Tak. We need you more. All right.
Real.
But
yeah.
other than that,
tell him.
I need you guys to. It's got to be a group effort. We just got to harass them. All right. We're just gonna harass the shit out of them.
Gladly.
Monday, I will be on the Saw horror show for Pop Culture Philosophers.
Nice.
Not the best movies, but probably one of the more consistent, solid franchises I watch. Surprisingly, I will say that much. It's definitely got its ups and downs, but they're all in like the same even keel for the most part. But
yeah.
Other than that, of course, check out all these wonderful gentlemen here.
Oh
Here.
yeah, my brother. Oh yeah, my brother. Thank you for joining me, Link. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Of course, Link is no stranger to the Blamephable show. He's been on, I think, every season. Love that guy, man. Love you, Link. Thanks for joining me, man. My brother Nick, my co-host, my guy. Anything you want to plug in?
I'm in a bidding war right now with two guys. So I'm at 42. Shit.
I saw Nick looking at his phone. I was going to say, did you
I was trying to see how good of a deal $40 was, because I know that like about a year ago that book was like $1 an issue, so 300 for 300. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, I wonder what a low grade's going for, and it still goes for like over $150 in a low grade. So good for you.
You can't blame that, Joseph.
Can't blame that. Two guns outpriced me already. Damn. Oh well. Let's see. Tonight.
Here, look. Before you go, I'll give you 41.
I know. Then I went to 42. Yeah, but he went to 43, and I just can't.
You guys are bidding on Chris's book.
Sorry, gentlemen.
You didn't know it was for sale like that.
I'm just like, hey. It's gonna disappear.
Yeah. What do I got going on? Okay. So tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time, Nick at Night. I covered like 20 books this past week, which is like the most reading I've done in a long time. So if you want to know about this past week's books and everything, you can check that out. Also, Thursday night, we were on monthly comic book review show over at Pop Culture Philosophers. So check that out. That was a really great show. And we tried a little bit of a new format in the back end of it, and it worked out really well. And so we had a blast on that show. It was great. Supreme Clientele, I'm planning on being on there next week. And I think it's next week. I gotta double check. Steph, I think I'm on. I think I'm next Wednesday, right? Yeah, I'm trying to clock in. Clocking in for sure. So I can't wait to speak with you guys and talk about all that stuff. That's gonna be really fun. Let's see. Other than that, just the normal stuff. Got haul videos, Cadets new release, and FOC. You can catch me over here, obviously, on Saturdays. And so I'm trying not to forget anything. And if I did, I apologize, and we'll cover it next time. So thanks for having me, guys.
Oh man, always, man. It's always a pleasure doing the show with you, man.
Absolutely.
You know, it's easy. You make it easy for me. But here's a guy who doesn't make it easy for me. Like that segue? You like? I just thought of it right now.
All right, Robbie.
Here's a guy who doesn't make it easy for me. Chris Lost in Comics, man. Nah, I'm just joking. Of course you make. I love you, brother. I'm so glad you came through, man. What do you got coming up?
And just real quick, I want to tell you, Phable, dude. Like I know you said you kind of been going through a spell here, right, dude? That's I just want to encourage you and tell you, man. Like every week I go through that almost. And I'm not saying, but you know what? The last 3 or 4 weeks have been really kicking my ass, dude. Like my work has just been. It has been brutal, and I find myself with very little energy to create content or to read. And then once I'm in it, I'm like, oh, like obviously we love it, right? I start reading the stories. I really do get lost in them. That's why it's called Lost in Comics. And then hanging out with you guys, like sometimes getting on the air to do a show like this It's like, oh man, I got this to do, that to do. Oh, I got to plan for this thing. For you, I know you got to put it together, Phable, but doesn't it feel so good once you get it, once you put it out there and you start hanging out, and it's just like your spirit's just like.
This does? You know what doing this does to me? This makes me realize that everything we do outside of here is bullshit. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like you can love, you can love your job, you can love your job, you can have a.
I don't love my job.
Right, but the 90% of us are working just so that we could do what we got to do for our families and also for ourselves. And every time I do this, I feel like this should be my job, and that shit should be something I do an hour or two a day.
100%, dude.
You know what I mean?
100%, man.
I agree with you 100%. This definitely brings me back.
So no, I just encourage you, dude. You're gonna have a lot of moments like this. Just keep pushing through and take breaks when you have to. I know sometimes like I feel like I'm not present on social media. It's just I just have a lot of stuff to do, and I'm like, but just connecting with you guys, doing this show, stuff like this, and doing our show, it's such a great time. I love it. I love the community. I love the chat. Just talking about these, characters and things that are out of the world that we, like you said, the world that we live in outside of this bubble. It's so much fun. I love it. Lost in Comics, man. I do a weekly top 3 video, comes out every Thursday morning, where I read my stack of comic books from that week, and I tell you which were my favorite from that week. Go over other comic books that I enjoyed that week. We are gearing up every end of the year. We have a best of the year award show, and dude, I'm really excited. We've had Robbie on the last 2 years. He's on the nomination panel.
Oh yeah,
man, I'm so excited, man. So at the end of December or middle of December, we'll be doing the nomination panel. It should be myself, Robbie, a couple other people, and dude, it's gonna be a blast. And then in January we have our award show. And all of the awards are presented by comic creators, and we've been doing that for the last 3 years. So it's just like a flurry of writers and artists. They come on and they actually present the awards, and it's so cool, man. I have such a good time. So I'm already starting to plan for that because it's definitely a labor of love. But come check us out, man. We love comics, man. YouTube, Lost in Comics.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Chris, for all those kind words. Definitely, everybody go check out Chris's comic book awards. They are awesome. And yes, he does have some great creators too. Oh man, I caught last year's award show. You guys put on a top-notch content there, man. I couldn't even dream of how to put that together. But man,
take it real serious, man. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, once again. Everybody who joined us in the chat, man. Joe, Blood Splatter Chatter, Big Herm, all you guys, man. John Spilio was in this thing almost through the whole thing, man. You guys are the best. All my panelists, all my friends out there, love y'all. There's only one thing left to say. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. Station.
Station.
Let's get out of here.